Welcome to the lecture series of Fourier transform. In this video we are going to see Parseval's identity. First we will see the statement of Parseval's identity. Let f of s be the Fourier transform of f of x, then integral minus into plus infinity modulus of f of x the whole square dx equal to integral minus into plus infinity modulus f of s the whole square ds. This is what Parseval's identity under Fourier transform. Now we are going to prove this result. So to prove the result, we are taking the convolution result. We know that Fourier transform of f star of g. So here f star of g is nothing but convolution. In the previous video we have discussed about convolution. So based on the convolution result, f of f star of g equal to f of s into g of s. This is what the first one we have to take. Now I am going to take f inverse on both sides. Take f inverse on both sides. So for the writing convenience, I am taking this term in our left hand side. So f inverse of f of s into g of s equal to f inverse of f star of g. So look at this, f inverse of f star of g. So what will happen? This will become as f star of g. So now in this place we are going to apply the inverse Fourier result. What is the inverse Fourier result? 1 by root 2 pi integral minus into plus infinity f inverse of some function. So f inverse of that function means 1 by root 2 pi that function into. So whatever it is here, we will write as it is. So f of s into g of s. So that function into e power minus isx into ds. This is the definition for f inverse. And here we have f star of g. What is f star of g? F star of g is nothing but convolution. So we can apply the convolution result for f star of g. What is the convolution result? 1 by root 2 pi integral minus into plus infinity f of t g of x minus t into dt. This is the result for convolution. Now we can cancel the 1 by root 2 pi on both sides, and we are going to put x is equal to 0 in the above equation. So what will happen? This will become as 1 and this place will become as g of minus t. So when you are substituting x is equal to 0, this equation will become as integral minus into plus infinity f of s into g of s, and this place will become as 1, that because e power 0 will become 1 into ds equal to integral minus into plus infinity f of t into g of, we are making x as 0. So what will happen? G of minus t into dt. We will call this as our equation 1. So now what we are going to do is, we are taking some assumption. Let g of minus t, okay, this g of minus t, we are going to take it as f of t the whole bar. Okay, so now we are taking g of minus t as f of t the whole bar. So and also we are taking g of t as f of minus t the whole bar. These are the two things we are taking. So what will happen? G of minus t equal to f of t the whole bar and g of t equal to f of minus t bar. We call this as equation 2 and equation 3. Okay, now in equation 3, okay, that is g of t equal to f of minus t the whole bar. In this one we are taking Fourier transform on both sides. So what will happen? F of g of t equal to Fourier transform of f of minus t the whole bar. Okay, so taking Fourier transform on both sides. We know very well that for any function, when you are taking Fourier transform, the result is a function of s. So here the function is g, so we can get g of s. G of s is equal to f of, instead of t we can change the variable as x, changing the variable as x. So now we have arrived that g of s is equal to Fourier transform of f of minus x the whole bar. We have a property under Fourier transform. What is the property? Property is Fourier transform of f of minus x the whole bar equal to f of s the whole bar. This is what the property of Fourier transform. So using this property we can write instead of this, which is equal to f of s bar. Okay, so by property, okay, by properties of, okay, g of s is equal to f of s bar. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to substitute these values in the equation 1. What are the values? G of s is equal to f of s bar. We will call this as equation 4. Okay, so substituting equations 2 and 4 in 1. So in the place of g of s, we are going to substitute f of s bar. In g of minus t, we are going to substitute f of t bar. So what will happen? From equation 1, f of s into, in the place of g of s, we have make it as f of s bar, and in the place of g of minus t, we have written f of t the whole bar. Now we know a property that f of s into f of s bar equal to modulus of f of s the whole square. So applying that result, the left hand side can be written as integral minus infinity to plus infinity modulus of f of s the whole square ds equal to, by the same manner here also, integral minus infinity to plus infinity modulus of f of x the whole square into dx. This is what the Parseval's identity. So this result is also known as, sometimes this result is also called it as Plancherel's theorem or Rayleigh's theorem. Okay, Parseval's identity is also called as Plancherel's theorem or Rayleigh's theorem. So now by the Parseval's identity for Fourier sine transform, how it will be written as for Fourier sine transform, integral 0 to infinity modulus of f of x the whole square dx equal to integral 0 to infinity modulus of fs of s, that is Fourier sine transform of s the whole square ds. By the same manner for Fourier cosine transform, it can be written as integral 0 to infinity modulus of f of x the whole square dx equal to integral 0 to infinity modulus of fc of s, that is Fourier cosine transform of s the whole square into ds. So these are the 2 more questions. Write the Parseval's identity for Fourier sine transform, Fourier cosine transform. So this is what the Fourier sine and cosine Parseval's identity. Thank you for watching.